Hey everybody, what is up? It is Berlin back again with another video. I told you guys I was going to be coming back with another video on this whole Trisha Paytas, Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star, Ryland situation, because since the last video that I made on this, Trisha Paytas has now come out with another YouTube video on her second channel. This came after Trisha said that she was taking a break from social media for a week. She lasted a day. We knew she would. So Trisha's come out with this video. It was half an hour long. I did sit and watch the whole thing yesterday. So now we're going to get into this because Trish came out. She dished the dirt on Shane, Ryland, how she feels about them right now after Ryland's podcast, The Sip, came out. She made a lot of TikToks responding to that as well, but I'm not going to put those in here. I think other channels have already done that. So what I'm going to do is show you a few clips from Trisha's video, because she also went into Garrett and Andrew apparently no longer being friends with Shane Dawson. I am, of course, just getting my makeup base down, so I'm starting with some primer. I'm really sorry, by the way, if the light is bad. It is daylight here, but we've got scaffolding right outside my bedroom and it is blocking the sun. So the light is really bad. I've got a lamp on, I've got my bedroom light on. So I'm sorry if the lighting's really poor. But this clip that I'm about to show you, Trisha goes into talking about how she feels that Shane Dawson is like a toxic ex-boyfriend and all this kind of stuff. The video that she uploaded, there was a lot in it. So if you didn't see her half an hour long video, here is a clip where she's clearly saying, oh, you know, Shane was like a toxic ex-boyfriend and all this other stuff. It was messy, but more than messy, it was just really, really sad. And it's hard not to feel for Trisha in this situation, because she clearly feels that she's been betrayed. She clearly feels that they've not been loyal to her. She's clearly very upset about the whole thing.
He would give me the validation in a way a toxic boyfriend would, right? Like, they string you along enough to, like, keep you happy and be like, hey, yes, I'm your friend, but also destroy you behind your back. And that's what I'm finding out now. Oh my God, it's like crazy. Like, I did all my TikToks on Ryland, just like the straight up lies he told. Like, I'm still so shook. He's like, we could have talked to this out. Literally made me like everything was wrong with me. Never took one out, like never once gave me any credit. Like, yeah, Trish did talk to us about this. Like just like it's crazy. He just totally skimmed over Jeffree. Once again, Jeffree just coming out of the scotch clean, because, you know, everyone's throwing the blame on Jay, and like, yeah, Jay was stupid until air it out, but who do you think talked like, who do you think that's what the Vegas trip thing was all about? Jay just confirmed it. And they knew about it. They knew about it so much. I have so many text messages I could show. Like, Shane and Jeffree do everything in voice memo, but you can see my side of the text where I'm like breaking down everything that happened, and Jeffree's like apologizing, and then I'm taking it to Shane, and he's like, obviously, you can't see it because the sorry. Ooh.
That part where Trisha said Shane and Jeffree do everything by voice memo so that nobody can screenshot any of their replies and expose them for the way that they speak to people. I mean, I get it if you're like a celebrity and you're paranoid, but Trisha is there saying, look, this is how these guys have treated me. They would do everything in a voice memo so that I couldn't expose them for the shitty treatment. It's sick. And that's somebody that you've been friends with, Shane Dawson, for 12 years. If you've known somebody for 12 years and you don't trust them and you have to do everything in voice memos, what is that friendship? Really? Like, 12 years of friendship and you don't trust Trisha not to expose you? So you have to do everything in voice memos, as does Jeffree, because you're paranoid about your shitty behaviour coming to light. But it all has now. You know, people say whatever is done in the dark will come to the light. And here's Trisha exposing the fuck out of them.
But then you start thinking, like, oh my God, I was like, I was just so desperate. Never once did they, like, I was thinking about, like, my tours and stuff. They never, I had a tour, I had a show in Anaheim, my first show, but well before Shane, like, hit with the series, the docuseries. Gigi came, like all my YouTube friends came. I had one in LA like a year and a half ago, and he couldn't even come to that. And that was the same month that his conspiracy pal came up, where he put a shadow named after me in it. And I guess that was supposed to be like some big honor. And like now I'm thinking like, yeah, he didn't even come to my show. Anyways, just shitty friends. And over the years, he's always like fed me stuff, right? Like he's always fed me things like stuff that I wouldn't know or care about, but gets me like riled up. Like for instance, stuff he said about Garrett and Drew and like Andrew. Like I don't know any of them, but guess what? Like as soon as they became a group, remember when they were all a group, I was tossed to the side when like Garrett, Rylan, Morgan, Drew, and him were like and Andrew were all making like, you know, haunted videos. I was tossed aside, like whatever.
The palette, the conspiracy palette. I don't know if you guys remember, you know, yeah, you got the Trisha shade, you got the Tanacon shade, because Shane wanted to name everything after personal things for him, right? So, do you remember at the time when this came out, Trisha made a whole video with it where she did a lot of pink makeup. She was really excited. She was really supportive of Shane. And Shane can't do the same for her. Apparently, he hasn't been able to support Trisha with her tours, her shows, anything like that. Yet she's been there supporting him through all these things that he's done. And apparently behind the scenes, he's been going to Trisha, feeding her things about other people, such as James Charles, David Dobrik, everybody, like the Vlog Squad. Apparently he has been all up there, just really not being a nice person. Just really feeding her information about everybody who she was collabing with, all of that stuff. That to me is weird.
I'm only around when like Shane falls. And like he's always feeding me stuff because he knows I have a loud mouth and he knows I get riled up. And sometimes he'll even say like, oh, I shouldn't say this. I don't want to like trigger you, or like I don't know. Like I remember during my David stuff, he would like feed me stuff about David from like podcast clips of him being like a sociopath. And like I never used this stuff because I didn't really know where he was going, but it was just like trying to feed more into it. And I was just like, which is like, why would you try and feed someone who already has issues like controlling myself, like anger issues? The Teddy Fresh scandal where they were talking about James stealing a design. I had seen Shane around that time. This was like last year. And he's like, yeah, well, did you also know he stole like this, I don't know, James Charles did a palette and he stole like the makeup look. And I think I repeated that on front of me. He's like, he would constantly feed information about stuff that just didn't matter, but would like rile me up, where I thought like I had to be the voice, right? Like I was the hair by Jay in this situation where I'm like, wow, I'm going to be this tough, loud voice and I'm going to speak on his behalf. And guess what? Shane doesn't get his hands dirty. I do. You know what I mean? And that's the same thing I just saw with Rylan. It's like, Rylan, nobody knows who you are. Nobody cares. In fact, I never really cared, if I'm being completely honest. I've always thought he leached off Shane. Point blank period. I remember I was dating this guy, Sean, right before he started dating Rylan, and he's like, I think Sean's like using you. Like, you never had like a YouTube channel before, and now all of a sudden like you guys are doing videos together. Like, I kind of miss just the church videos. Like, there's too much Sean. And then sure enough, a couple months later, who has a YouTube channel? Rylan. Who's quitting his job? Rylan. Who's Shane like promoting? And they like it's so he just like the only reason people watch your channel is for Shane. And like, I'm not trying to be nasty or anything like that, but like, it's some truth. Like, I don't know who this person thinks he is. Like, I'm just like this. He's so far gone. Like, the views are so up his head, and like, it's insane. I don't know.
This bit that Trisha said was really interesting to me. I remember when the Teddy Fresh scandal happened, when James Charles was accused of copying their hoodie designs. I made a video on it even at the time. I think I made 2 videos on it, in fact. But Trisha is now claiming that Shane Dawson was the one feeding her information about James Charles, trying to get her to go against James Charles. And on that note, James Charles came out with a tweet the other day, I think it was 2 days ago or maybe even yesterday, which said, oh, isn't it refreshing when everybody else sees what you see? I'm like, ooh, tea. Absolute tea. And you know what this makes me think? This makes me think everybody owes Tati Westbrook a bit of an apology. Genuinely. Like, you know, I really feel now, looking back on all this, I really feel like Tati Westbrook was manipulated into making that Bye Sister video by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. I really feel like that's what happened. Now that we know everything that we know about this situation, now that Trisha has exposed everybody, I really, really feel that that is the case. I don't know what you guys think, but honestly, I was just thinking about this yesterday and I was like, I miss Tati Westbrook. I miss her videos, you know. She was like someone safe and chill to watch. You could just watch her videos, watch her play with makeup, doing reviews, all of that stuff. And it was just nice until the Bye Sisters video. That was what really made people think differently about Tati Westbrook. Until then, I'd say her reputation on YouTube was very clean cut, unproblematic. But once that video happened, that all changed. And suddenly James Charles was a villain. Now Tati Westbrook has been painted as a villain. But I really think people have got that wrong. I really don't think that Tati was a villain. And another thing on that whole situation, somebody else has been roped into this too. Gabriel Zamora. Gabriel Zamora came out yesterday with a tweet that said, "It's all fun and games until you're personally victimised by Regina George." Now, I'm not sure who he meant was Regina George. Did he mean Shane Dawson? Did he mean Jeffree Star? Quite frankly, it could have been either of them. But honestly, I really think he was shading Jeffree Star with that one. Since yesterday, Jeffree Star has been very quiet on social media. Shane Dawson is not saying anything at all. Honestly, I don't know if this is all going to kick off another Dramageddon. It might well do. I'm not sure, but this has felt like a mini Dramageddon. The Trishaning, you know, all this stuff with Trisha, Hair by Jay, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson. This to me has really felt like its own mini kind of Dramageddon anyway, in and of itself, because of the way that Trisha has come out shading and exposing everybody around Shane Dawson. You know, Jeffree Star, Garrett Watts now, Andrew as well, who was always filming with Shane. It's a lot. Also, remember how Trisha said that Jeffree had shaded her for renting her house? If we go back to that clip from The Sip where Jeffree Star was actually on the show, they absolutely shaded Trisha. I didn't see that before. I didn't see that they were shading Trisha. But now that Trisha has come forward and spoken and said all of this, it's gross. Like, imagine shading one of your friends because they don't own their property. Yet Trisha's just bought a house and she's doing just fine. Why would you even need to say, oh yeah, you know, my mortgage is paid, and be that rude about somebody who is your friend or was your friend? Like, that is petty beyond belief. Like, oh my God.
But monthly, yeah, it's expensive. But my mortgage is really low. Unlike a lot of YouTubers actually put, you know, I actually paid for my house. Yeah.
I don't personally think that Shane Dawson or Jeffree Star are going to respond to the situation at all. I really don't. I think that they're both just going to stay mute, stay quiet on the whole thing, and kind of hope it blows over. That's what I see them doing right now. But you never know. Maybe Jeffree Star will come out in a video. Maybe Shane Dawson will come out in a video. If they do, then, you know, I'll be here to talk about it. But I really don't think so. I think they're just going to go very quiet on social media and just hope it all blows over. But I find it really telling, everything that Trisha said. I find it, you know, funny that James Charles has now kind of inserted himself with his tweet, and also Gabriel Zamora has now kind of inserted himself. It's like they can't help themselves, you know, they've got to jump into. So that is where we are with that whole situation right now. Let me know what you guys think about all this drama. Do you think that Jeffree or Shane will respond at all? Do you think Ryland will come out and say anything else? Let me know your thoughts on all the drama. I'm going to go carry on with my makeup, and I'll be back later with another video for you. So take care, stay safe, stay well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Love you guys. But quickly, actually, before I go, there is something that I want to say. I just really want to say thank you from my heart, from me, for supporting my little channel this far. And honestly, you guys are the best. Some of my subscribers have been talking to me like privately and stuff like that, and honestly, you guys are all really nice. Some of you follow me on Twitter, and honestly, getting to know you guys is really lovely for me, especially now that we're on lockdown and we can't go and see anyone or anything like that. So getting to know some of you guys wherever you are in the world, you've really made my heart happy. So I just want to say a little thank you, and just to let you know that I don't take it for granted. I really appreciate you guys being there, and even just saying hi, anything, you know, it's really lovely. So just a little thank you from me on that, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. If any of you guys want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, I will leave my handles down below, and you can come follow me if you want. If you want to chat, you know, whatever, drop me receipts, anything. I'm down to just chat, kiki, make friends. I love making new friends, so anything is fine. You know, I would prefer to be talking to people who are over 18, because I'm 37, so for me, I'm more looking to chat to people 18 and above, you know, just because I feel weird talking to 12 or 15-year-olds, you know. I don't really think that's appropriate. So hit me up if you want to. We can chat, you know, whatever you want. Even if it's just to say hey, or if you need someone to just listen to you or be a friend to you right now, you know, I'm here. I'm spending quite a bit of time online because lockdown. So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there, and I'll say take care. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.